Hi, so family. Welcome to my channel. We talk about all things to heal, grow, and evolve. And today, I want to do a story time on why I stopped doing tarot readings. And if this is your first time watching, welcome. My name is Sage, and on this channel, we talk about things such as spirituality, metaphysics, and African history. So if that's something that you're interested in, just keep on watching. Okay, so I stopped doing, well, let me say this first. I started doing tarot around 4 years ago. That's when I started doing tarot. I was first introduced to tarot. And ever since then, I fell in love with it. I thought it was an amazing divination, helped to guide people on their journey, helped to provide clarification, because that's really what it was for. It is really for clarifications for things you already know. And it felt like a lot of people were abusing that. If you're a tarot reader, if you know people in tarot community, a lot of people who have intentions to get a reading, it's not really just for clarification or just for something to be aware of. It's more on the, I guess the type of a client I was attracting at that time was more for like, how can I get this person back? How can I get a man? Does this person love me? It was just a lot of mundane things, very superficial questions that I really had no intentions of making that my entire business. Because when I do readings, I don't want to do just a reading just to cause confusion in their life or just tell people what they want to hear. I tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. And I feel like that was a very big disconnect, and that was kind of an issue because like I was saying, I think it was just more the type of people I was attracting is they were there to hear what they wanted to hear, not what they really wanted to, not what they needed to hear about themselves, about healing, especially in relationships. If that person is not your twin flame, that person is not your twin flame, but yet you still keep going back to that dusty. Every time I got a reading about if this person is my twin flame, is my ex coming back, I don't even have to do a reading. The answer is no. And the fact that you're doing a reading, coming to me asking that question, the answer is already no. And you know that within your heart, but you want to get a different answer. You just want to hear the answer you want to hear, not what you need to hear. And that was the conflict that I kept getting within myself, and I feel like within my clients as well. It was more of, I want this person back. Is this person coming back to me? What do I have to do to get my ex back? And that just did not align. It was causing so much frustration in my life. It was just causing so much frustration. Like, that man is not your twin flame. Leave that dust in the gutters. Please, please. Especially when I first started doing tarot readings, I was still new to it. I was still a beginner, and I felt very used and abused because people would take advantage of me giving free readings. And this was more to people I knew. It was more over people on social media I knew. It was more to like internet friends on social media that I gave free readings for. And I wanted to get more experience with it before I started charging for my services. But it felt like they was hitting me up every day to get a reading. They were hitting me up every day to ask questions about it. And I wanted to do my best to help people to offer, but there's gotta be some type of line drawn, like you're just taking advantage of what I have to offer. And I did not like that, and I did not agree with that. And that was actually why I had to end a friendship, because of the fact that they kept abusing this. They kept abusing and misusing the services that I was offering. Going back to Facebook, another thing that I thought was so hilarious, I joined a tarot reading group on Facebook, and this was for like tarot readers / clients. They're all in one group. And so if you want to get a reading, or if you want to do reading for people, you join this group. So I joined, and I think I was doing pretty well. I did my first reading. People liked it. They thought it resonated with them. They get a lot of insight and clarification about their answers they had. And I felt like I was picking up a lot of good clients. I felt like, okay, I'm on my shit. I'm doing this thing right here. And one day I went back on the Facebook group, and tell me why they kicked me out of the group, y'all. They kicked me out of this Facebook group. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, what is the reason? Like, what was the reason? What is this? I was so confused. Like, I thought I was doing well. At first I was like, did I break the rules? Did I do something I wasn't supposed to? Nobody messaged me. Nobody notified me about me doing anything that doesn't align with them. So I messaged the owner of this group. I was like, what is going on? Why was I removed? And then the owner of the Facebook group didn't even know I was removed. And so she said that the people, or the admins of this group, kicked me out because I was stealing their clients. They said because I was such a good reader, I was stealing their clients, they kicked me out of the group. What kind of nonsense is that? And I was like, I was so perplexed. I was like, what is happening? Y'all really decided to kick me out of the group because I was quote unquote stealing your clients, which I wasn't stealing nobody's clients. This isn't yours. You can't claim these people. This is a whole group for everybody to share their services and their skills. And the fact that you feel offended because you see the gift that I have is a problem within themselves, not within me. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That was all within them. And it wasn't just one person that agreed to this. It was a whole group of it was multiple admins who agreed to kick me out because they thought I was stealing their clients. I was like, yeah, you're on some bullshit. And I was like, no, I would just take my services elsewhere. I thought about it because it wasn't really the owner's fault because she had no idea. It was the admins of that group who were doing readings that kicked me out. But either way, that's not a vibe, and I did not resonate with that, so I didn't even go back to that group again. The fact that people saw me as competition is, I'm flattered, but no thanks. I thought about it if I should just join back again and just, kind of show them what's up. trying to see what's up with them. But I was like, no, that's not a vibe. And so I just left. So going back to continuing my services, I was on Facebook and I was on Twitter. And I was mostly doing Twitter at this time. And this is back in like 2019, 2020. This is around the time I was really on Twitter doing tarot readings, doing spirituality work. I don't use Twitter anymore because I just don't resonate with it. I just had to delete my whole account, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, I was on Twitter for the most part offering my services, and I mostly got tarot readings for relationships. And I don't mind doing relationship readings, but it's just like, what are you offering? Like, what are you trying to get out of this reading? And if it's about some guy trying to get your ex back, if he's coming back, or if this guy your twin flame, I feel like y'all can do so much better. There's so many more things to focus on in your life. And these people are worried about some dusty ex trying to come back to them. I'm like, I offer things about your ancestors, careers, life purpose, and the majority of people were only interested in relationships. And that was just like, for me, like, I don't mind doing it, but I feel like there's so much more. There's so many different areas of your life you can give love into instead of just another person, especially giving love to yourself. Because the fact that a lot of these clients were coming to me to just try to get their ex back, that love within yourself is missing. And I feel like you're trying to get this other person in your life to compensate for that lack of love. And I want to try to explain it to them. It was just not received. Like, they were not having it. And going back to what I said, they wanted to hear what they wanted to hear, not what they needed to hear. And I felt like when they come to me to do a reading, they just didn't really expect me to like tell them the truth, because I will tell you the truth. Like, don't come to me with a question and don't expect me to tell you the truth, because I will tell you the truth straight up. And it felt like they didn't really think I would do that. Maybe because of my persona, I'm very laid back and very chill. So maybe they thought I would just go along with them or go with the flow, or just try to get them to tell them what they wanted to hear. But when I try to explain to them, like, the fact that these are repeating clients trying to come back to me, asking me the same questions over and over and over again, especially about love. And I mentioned to him, there are so many different areas of your life you can give love into. They didn't want to hear it. And it felt like they kept coming back to me because they thought I would just eventually just tell them what they wanted to hear, not what they needed to hear. And I kept asking myself, like, do I give off that type of vibe that I would just go with the flow with whatever you say? Because there are some tarot readers who would do that. So be mindful of the type of readers that you're getting a reading from. But I had to think back, like, this was back in like 2019, 2020. And during that time, tarot was very heavy on Twitter, because I used Twitter and Facebook at this time to do my services. And specifically on Twitter, tarot blew up, astrology blew up, and the main focus people were giving readings on were about love, soulmates, karmic relationships, and twin flames. Like, that's what everybody was talking about. That was a new thing. That was the new trendy thing everyone was making readings about. So I'm just assuming because it was that time period of love, relationships blowing up, everybody wanted a reading only about love and relationships. But however, I offered other readings such as life path, career, ancestors, spirit guides, and those were the main things I was more interested in, to help other people and guide them towards towards their soul mission, towards connecting more to their ancestors, connecting more to these spirits and high vibrational beings, rather than trying to see if this ex is trying to come back to you. And I felt there was a lot of frustration and disconnection between me and the other side of people who wanted to receive a reading from. But I tend to look back, it was more just the time period I was offering readings from, and just the amount of people who were on that specific site on Twitter and that was the main thing people were looking for. And to me, that was just very superficial, and I didn't want to do readings based on that. I wanted to go deeper. I wanted to get deep to the yoke of what's really causing and stirring up issues in your life. And people didn't want to hear that. They were not here for it. They wanted to know about twin flames and karmics, and I was just not for that. And I'm definitely not for telling you what you want to hear. I will tell you the truth. I will tell you what you need to hear. And that was not very received at that time. And I was also interested in many other different things, not just tarot and astrology. Numerology was nice. But I really loved alchemy at that time. Alchemy was like my #1 fave. Like, I love studying alchemy. I want to talk about transmutation, occult sciences, esoteric sciences, all that good stuff. And at that time, I don't think the people who was following me or my audience was ready for that information, because it was just not received. But when I talk about love, soulmates, oh, that's when now the traction came. So it was really more of like who my audience was and the type of people I was attracting to my page, and pretty much what was trending during that time. And I just kind of got fed up, because that's really what I wanted to talk about. Maybe I shouldn't have allowed them to make so much of a heavy judgment in my mind, or make such a heavy decision to just delete my account. But that's just how I felt at the end of the day, and it just didn't really align with me. And at the end of the day, I just called it quits and I just deleted my account, because it just was not something that was bringing me as much happiness anymore. And I don't know if that was the right choice, but to this day, I don't really have any regrets about it, because I'm here on YouTube sharing my story. I'm still here doing research, doing my own studies, just doing practices and things that make me happy, things I'm interested in, and applying that into my life and helping other people reach that same destination within their own lives. So I felt like every experience that I went through was definitely needed. I needed to have that experience to know what I wanted and know what I didn't want at the same time. So no regrets on my side. Everything I experienced was needed, and it was for a reason, to get me to this moment, to get me to this exact moment. So that's why I'm here. I don't know if I'll do tarot again for people. I don't know if I will, probably not. But if I did, it would definitely not be no love reading. Don't ask me for a love reading. He is not your twin flame. Your ex is not coming back. You don't even want him to come back, because once he comes back, you know exactly why y'all left in the first place. Yeah, anything to do with love, twin flames, karmic, soulmates, that's just not my forte. I want to do readings on. And it was just the questions they would ask me would just bombard me, y'all. Like, they would ask things about, like, how do I make him obsessed with me? I did a spell on him. Is it working? How do I make him more obsessed? What spells can I do to make him obsessed with me? I'm like, why do you want this Dusty to be so obsessed with y'all? Like, there are so many different areas of your life you can pour love into, so many different focuses you can pour into and focus on. And not worrying about some ex and some, like, I just didn't see the need. I just didn't see like the need for y'all to like really focus on that when there's so many different areas of your life. But it was just during that time period, that was the main thing that was trending. Even till this day, love readings are still trending. People are still talking about twin flames, soulmates, but that's just not my forte. I'm not sure what type of divination I would do exactly. I haven't really felt called to do any other divination, but if I feel a calling to do it, or if there's something that comes to me, I'll definitely look into it. But as of now, I'm just continuing to do healing work, energy work, shadow work, and just build up my community and grow my following. And that's just what I'm doing right now. And I thought it would be interesting just to share my story, give you a little background, get to know me more a little bit, see more of my personality on here. And yeah, I just wanted to share my story about why I stopped doing tarot readings. So just so y'all can get to know me a little bit more. So yeah, I hope this story finds you well. If there's anything specifically you want me to talk about, just let me know down in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you on the next video. Bye y'all.